So the session is recorded. See that also. Anyhow, Apnan will take it. Okay, so hello everyone. We'll go for the revision session for the interim. So as usual, like the things like the syllabus will be from the week 1 to week 12, right? And you'll definitely have little more question on the 9 to 12, but obviously there will be some question from every, uh, I should say, from every week. And there will be total around 20 questions. Okay, so let me share my screen. So I okay, so we have already discussed this 1 to 4 and 5 to 8. So those discussion will be the same what we have discussed previously. And as I told, like each week will have some at least one question. You can think in that way. So we'll do it from week 9 to 12. Okay, so from week 9 and 12 basically is on mutation testing, right? So in week 9 we focus on procedure oriented normal, like the functions and programs, and week 10 is dedicated for the object orientation. So there is a little overlap which I'll skip on the week 9. I'll repeat that on the, I'll basically do it on the week 10. Okay. Uh, So I had a discussion with Apnan. Like Apnan told, he has completed up to week 9. He has to do start with week 10. So uh, the things you have to prepare with, I'll tell that I'm not right now taking any question. Like about the syllabus, you can ask the question, but technical question we are not taking. So we'll have again session on Tuesday as well as on Friday. So those session you can ask for asking the questions regarding the technical topics, right? Today we'll only discuss uh, the summary of the things, like what you should study, what you should not study, what you can go just glance through it, like the thing. And any topic like you want to understand, like what kind of question can be asked, that is fine. But again, I'm repeating, technical questions right now I'm not taking. Okay. So maybe end if I have time, I'll do that. Okay. uh, Mutation testing for integration, right? So this slides basically shows up to this, like what is a mutation testing. Please go through it theoretically. Now after that there are few mutation operators, right? So you need to just go through it. It's very easy actually, just you need to understand what is what. But these kind of examples are very important because what I usually do, I keep the original code, that may be the enter code, a function, maybe only this one statement, and I give the mutated statement separately. Then I say, okay, which operator, which of the following operator is applied, right? So for each one, maybe you can prepare some example, right, so that you can um, answer the questions, right? So this part will be repeating on the week 10. I'm not doing it. I told something will be overlapping. And this part also we do not ask much of the questions because this part already we have covered in Java in very detail. But based on this part, what will be the testing, that will be our important topic. So these are all there in the week 10 again. So right now this part I'm not doing. This everything will be repeated in week 10. But the in summary, like what you have to prepare, just read out what is the mutation testing means for integration mutation, and the mutation operators. These are five mutation operators given over here. What are the mutation operators? and what kind of mutation they do. Like this, some examples, right? This approach. So again, the coding example will be very important whenever this is a mutation test. Okay, I go for the second code. So again, this is a different operator. So for this operator, there are examples, right? So questions will be again with the examples, right? Suppose I give, uh, suppose you have an expression like this, which is mutated to this. So which kind of operator is applied? Or maybe there is a small program to add to number, a function, right? To add to. Then I say, suppose this is line number 2, I say line number 2 is mutated as x assigned to a minus b. So what kind of mutation operator I have applied over here? So relationship operator, conditional operator. Some operators create some kind of confusion like relational and conditional. Please understand them properly. Okay. Logical. Assignment is quite straightforward. Unary operator is quite straightforward. They're straight. So that's all. Like again, you'll have some kind of code, and you have to find out which kind of operator applied over here. Next, I go for these definitions. Huh? Please prepare with the definition. Sometime uh, we ask the term for this, and sometime there will be a matching kind of like these are the terms, this is the description. So match the following kind of thing. So in mutation coverage, please go through the definition so you won't ask examples on this. So if you just go through some definitions over here, which are given in the blue color, that's enough from this particular part. But again, the question will be asked in this way, like we give this, then we say this line is mutated with this. Right? So what is applied? Which operator? These are again all definitions are important. Huh? Very important definitions. Please note it down. This is also killing mutants. What is given in the blue color? All the definitions. Again, I'm saying this is little difficult. We may not be giving a programming based thing from this part, but all these definitions are very, very important. Okay, just I'll repeat this slide so that you can note it down what to prepare with. Initially, I told that whatever given in the blue color, please read all those definitions, try to understand this. What is killing a mutant, right? What is mutation coverage? They're all definitions. Then I told on the operator, mutation operators, questions will be asked in this way. There will be a source code and there will be a mutated code. So instead of giving entire mutated code, maybe we can say, see this line, maybe it is line number 4 is mutated as this. So tell me which kind of mutation operator is applied over here. So suppose this code is given, I say this line is mutated as this statement. Right? So what is applied over here? Then again we come to the theory. These are the theoretical question you have to do all these definitions, and again these definitions along with. So this is a very important part in software testing. But for exam purpose, the theory will be more required. Then this is the slide you can just glance through. It it is not so much important from the exam purpose. Okay. But again, this will be very important. This word, phrase, grammar, context. So one kind of questions can be asked like we say, uh, what is the regular expression that accepts all the strings of only A's and only B's followed by a C? Identify the regular expression which accept all the string that will contain A, B, B as a subword. So you need to choose the correct regular expression, or maybe this regular expression is given and you will be asked like what kind of strings are accepted by this regular expression. So for this regular expression, the strings, all the strings of only A's or B's followed by C will be accepted, right? So this will be your answer. So this is very important kind of question. You can expect there will be one question like this. Okay, finding out the regular expression, or given the regular expression, find out what kind of strings are accepted. Then, given a CFG, find out the corresponding regular expression. But for all the CFG, you cannot get a regular expression. Right? For few CFGs, you can get a regular expression. Like we have some examples below. Yeah, suppose here it is given, right? This is a particular kind of regular expression could be achieved by this. So you'll get lot of examples in the previous term papers. So you can go for this. These are not much required, but two questions are very important. Given a context free grammar, find out the corresponding regular expression, and given a regular expression, what is the description string, or given a string, what regular expression can accept that, right? So these three kind of questions will be there. So at least one question will be there from this slide, and at least one question will be there from that operators, right? Okay, so this is about week 9. So week 9 you can expect like 2 to 3 questions. So I already told the area from where it will come. One or two questions will be from the operator. One question can be from this regular expression. One question can be from this context free and regular expression derivative. Okay, I'll move to 10. For 10 again, first the okay, this thing you can read it. This is for the theory purpose. We won't ask. I will be asking the question on the object-oriented theory because we assume that you have already done in Java. So the questions will start from here, right? Mutation testing operator for object-oriented integration, and this will be asked in term of program, right? Suppose I give a employee class where you are having a private int ID, private int private string name, then there are the constructor and some methods. Then I say the say third line is mutated as from private to public. So private string name become a public string name. So what kind of operator is applied over there? You have changed the access modifier, right? But remember, sometimes these are very confusing. What example I have given, it's very straightforward by seeing, but just understanding the meaning, you can find it out. But some cases, it's quite difficult. So please try to uh, understand what will be the corresponding code for each of this. Like this super key deletion and parent constructor deletion. It's very confusing because both delete the super. But this is basically using super. You're calling a method or invoking any data member, or sorry, instance variable of the parent class, right? But invoking a parent constructor, basically you're making a call through a super, right? Super also can invoke the parent constructor. If you remove that from the child constructor, that's basically parent constructor deletion. So you're not invoking the parent constructor. So just before starting this session, I was discussing with Afnan. Saying, Afnan will take the session on Tuesday. And last time I took the session with showing the codes and all. So that recording Afnan will be providing you along with the code, like whatever the codes I have done that day. Those codes are also there. Those codes will be shared. And Tuesday I'll be also there with Afnan. So if you have a question also, we can have a discussion in detail. Okay. So these are all these things like actual type change, declare parameter change, reference type change, overload method change, argument order change, argument number changed. So definitely there will be one question from this slide, and that will be also with the code. Okay, for mutation, most logical and interesting is this particular slide. So there are a lot of things done over here. So these are the things I assume you everybody knows. These definitions are important. Please go through these definitions. Okay, from this kind of thing, where we have this, yeah, this yo-yo graph, whatever the thing is there. So we'll have some classes, like a class hierarchy. Like first there is a person class, from person class inherited a employee class, from employee class there is a manager class, from manager class there is an HR manager class, and they'll have all some methods and some overriding method, right? Now whenever I make a call, the question will be from which class it will be invoked. So if you are clear with the Java thing or object-oriented features of the Java, you'll be definitely able to answer it. Though for that, you don't have to be very expert in this particular software testing thing. But one question of that kind is very important. There is a graded question inside our week 10 assignment. So I think you have already practiced that. So similar to that, and old question paper, almost all the question paper, end-term question paper, having a question from this part. Like if I make at the end obj.f, obj.g, obj.f, uh, h, from where the function f will be called, from which class the g will be called, from which class the e will be called, right? So uh, finding out that, right, that is important. Most difficult to understand these four, right? So these four you have to be careful. There will be definitely one question on this. Uh, Inconsistent, type, use fault, state definition anomaly, then state definition consistent anomaly, and state visibility anomaly. So state visibility anomaly is a error. So that's why it's a compiler error. So it's quite easy to find out, but most confusing is this too. Uh, State definition inconsistency and state definition anomaly. Okay. So I'm not going to explain it right now. So if you have problem, you can discuss on Tuesday session definitely. But before coming to the Tuesday session, please go through the code provided and previous term session what will be shared by Afnan. Rest of the thing you can just glance through. Okay, these parts are not very important on the exam purpose. So two things you need to mainly focus from this slide. One is this sorry, this is the theory part. Again, I told this is a little important slide. Okay, and yeah, given a hierarchy like this, here it's basically given as a class diagram, but I will give it as a code, right? A Java code with extends and all, right? And from there we'll be asking question which method for called from which class. And the second type is finding the anomalies or inconsistency in a fault in a class. So there will be these four options. You have to find out which kind of anomaly or fault is there. Right. So these two are basically anomalies, and these two are normally known as fault. But this is little difficult compared to other things. So if you're not clear, definitely join the Tuesday session and clear it up. This is also a chapter from where you can have little more question. Mm, the web application testing, like, so first slide is on the client side testing. So client side testing, it could be a bypass or session data testing. So bypass testing, again there are three types, right? So what are the things? Three types are value level bypass testing. So whatever value you are giving as an input, those are valid or not. They are of the given format, they are of the given length, etc. etc. Then parameter level questions. So whenever you are have to input some values which are interrelated, right? Suppose uh, you are giving a mobile number and OTP, right? So there should be a link, like the OTP should be sent to your mobile phone, and that OTP should match with the sent OTP to your mobile phone. So these kind of things. Uh, then control flow. So control flow means whenever you are having a normal flow, like in a in a web application, there is a normal flow. Like you log in, then check. Like suppose you are checking about the Amazon, right? You select the product, then go to cart, then place the order, then make the payment, right? So instead of that, in between somewhere you paste another link, then go to that link and find out what is happening on that, or maybe in between somewhere you press back or do something else. Means you are violating the natural flow of your web application. Then how you are having the user session data, right? The user session data basically it tells lot of the inputs user has given and some details about the user. From there also you can do a lot of testing. So given a scenario, which kind of testing it is, that's a question. So definitely there will be one question from this part. So mostly we'll be explaining a scenario, and you have to identify which kind of client side testing should be done over here, or which kind of client side testing it is. Okay. So then it is the server side testing. Uh, Please go through this thing, although you know it, but for a web application, suppose I give a input. Now what happened? It shows an error on the server error. Suppose it gives an error, but along with the error, it's basically expose some part of your code, right? So that basically calls as a exposure. So that kind of questions will be asked. Like suppose you give an invalid input, and it is your server is showing that internal error. What kind of thing is? It's basically a fault, right? But if you give an invalid input and you get a response, your input should be a string, then it's a valid response, right? Okay. Then there will be lot of questions on this ATG, application transition graph. So web application can be shown as a graph where each page you can think as a node, and each from one node to another node shows the flow from one page to another page. Right? So suppose this is a code, right? The code can be presented as a using some atomic section. So how you can identify this atomic section? You have to go through this, right? I'm not explaining it thoroughly. So this P1, P2, P3, these are basically the atomic sections. The first thing is you can represent the entire program using this atomic sections, which is called as a component expression. So maybe this entire program can be represented by this atomic section like this. So these dots say there is a concatenation. So sequentially, those are ordered. This is means either this or that, right? Means it's a if else, and star means it is a loop, right? So like that. So another two questions from this part. This is important, huh? This is very important theoretical, like which is which kind of link. So there are many edges, right? So if you transfer from one page to another page through a hyperlink, it's a simple link transition that edge calls as a. If you go to one page to another page by submitting a form, right? Then it's called a form link transition. So these definitions are important. From the atomic section, you'll get two more thing. I don't know where it is. One is content variable, another is empty section. So from the given atomic section, you may have to find out what is empty section. So empty section means the section do not have any code, but it's a section. Like I don't know. There is a example. Yeah. See, in the else part is there, but else part do not contain a code. So we'll call it as an empty section. And content variables basically are the variables on the println. So like this green color things, right? These are all content variable in your program. Yeah, content variables, right? Which are given in green color. Sorry. P5 is the empty section. Right? So these are very relevant questions. You'll get a big code like this, and there will be the first question maybe keep the content expression. Then next question maybe find out the empty section. Maybe next question maybe find out the content variable in the line. This is already I told very important. Yeah, that's all. So again I want to repeat this. One question can be from here. Suppose I give this invalid input, I'm getting this output. So what kind of thing is happening on the server? Next thing is you'll be given with a servlet like this, where this atomic section will be shown to you. You don't have to find out the atomic section. But what you need to do, you need to find out the content expression. You need to find out the empty atomic section, and you have to find out the content variable. That's all. And at the end, I told this is the theory you have to read, nothing else. Okay, this slide is little bit of theory. So we normally give a small question from it, but you need to read it totally because things you know, but the names and all are little different. So I'll suggest you to go through this entire slide because this content of lot of theory like what is web service, what is web application, what is web page, what is web static page, what is dynamic page. So all these are small definitions. So this is very important. Huh? Dead links. What are dead links? But please go through this entirely. There are little theory about it, but sometimes we put a small theoretical question for this. Week 12, you can expect there won't be much question from it. Okay. Uh, Maybe one or two questions. So first is non-functional testing, which are normally the performance testings, right? So these are all important. What is interoperability testing, compatibility testing, forward compatibility, backward compatibility testing, security testing. There are different part of the security testing, reliability testing, scalability testing, documentation testing. Then within the performance testing, there are load testing, stress testing, soak testing, spike testing. So these are very important. There are very little difference between spoke, spy, and stress load. So be very sure you're understanding this clearly. Otherwise, you can ask on Tuesday on Friday session. Okay, so this is just a theory. You need to read it, but It sometimes create a confusion. Regression testing, we don't normally don't ask any question because it's very, I'll say, complicated thing, and it's given as a expression everything. So it's very difficult for me to formulate a question out of it. So usually we don't give much from the regression testing. Okay, from this slides definitely there will be one question. Okay, so here we cover up some quality based testing. So that's very important. We haven't tested the quality all over the quantity kind testing previously. So that's why these testings are very important, and you can expect definitely one question from this part, right? So uh, you're having different metrics like the line of LOC, KLOC. These are basically the uh, product based, then process based, project based. These are all different kind of things you have. But overall, this quality matrices will be more important in this slide because we haven't done it in anywhere in the software testing. These three. So go through everything from these three, mainly these formulas: DRE, BMI, right? So again, I'm repeating. Go through these three very very carefully. Uh, these three quality based testing. So definitely there will be one question from this entire part. I'll come to the summary afterwards. Uh, TDD, there will be a programming based question mostly. Otherwise, there will be advantages or disadvantages. No other theory question. Either it is a theory advantage disadvantage, or it is a programming based question. So the question will be asked in a different way. You'll be given with the test case, right? It's a different approach. First we'll have the test. From the test we do the implementation, right? So initially you'll be given with this kind of uh, code, JUnit code, which is a testing code, which will have number of test cases, right? So now from this test cases you have to generate a code. So what you can understand, it is false for 0, means it is at least 1. It is false for 13, means it should be maximum of 12. It is true for 6, so 6 is a true value. So I can take any value between 1 to 12, right? So there will be a code like where I'll check the month. If it is less than 1 or less or equal to 0, then month is lesser than the minimum month number required. If it is greater than 12, means it is not correct. If it is in between 1 and 12, then it is a correct. So that should be the code generated from this test case. So that's basically TDD, test driven development. You'll be given with the test cases from where you have to get the code. So you'll get the question accordingly. So there are a lot of examples are given in the previous year questions. So please go through that. You'll understand. This is not a difficult thing. Okay. So that's all. I've covered up everything. What you should read and what you should just lightly go for. Now, yeah. So what are the questions you have? Like you can ask.
So there are two more sessions, one on Tuesday and one on Friday.
Tuesday mostly will focus on this coding part
Hmm.
on week 10, which is the difficult bit part. 11 and 12 is okay, okay. Like mostly it's theory. If you don't have a session also, it's okay. But we'll also have a Friday session. If you have a doubt, we'll discuss that.
And if I means the previous year question, can we discuss on Tuesday or it will be in Friday?
Yeah, yeah, we can discuss on Tuesday. Like Afnan will take the coding part first. I'll join little late on Tuesday. I'll join around 8:39. So class will be there from 8. So Afnan will start a beginning. He may be do it by 9 o'clock or something. Then we'll start it.
And how many questions that we can expect from 1 to 8?
It's difficult to say. So you can expect that 10 questions around. 8 9 question you can say. Yeah, around 9 to 10. 9 to 10, yeah.
Okay.
And so,
So
how
please
many
go through. Yeah.
roughly how
Hello.
many questions will be there?
Around 20.
Okay, and 8 to 9 will be from week 1 to 8, and remaining will
1
be.
to so you can assume like there will be uh, 9 to 12, there will be around 8 to 9, 8 to 10 questions, and rest of the question will be from 1 to 10.
Sorry, could you
Sorry,
repeat
1
that?
to 8. 1 to 8. uh, 9 to 12 will be 8 to 10 questions,
Okay,
and
and
rest
remaining
will
will
be
be.
from yeah, remaining will
Okay,
be 1
okay.
to 8.
Thank you, sir.
And the focus of Tuesday will be covering up this week 10 properly, because week 10, no, it's a little difficult because you have to understand code for each of everything. So that's why before you coming for Tuesday session, please go through the last time recording. Afnan will share the codes also, so that it will become easier for Afnan to start the thing. I'll be joining little late, but uh, we'll also discuss the question. Okay.
And one more thing, that graded and practice assignment solution in the portal, it is only up to week 6. If you ask Safnan to upload that.
Afnan, can you check it?
Actually, we have uploaded, I think, up to week 9, sir, and that is there on Discourse. The thing is, the link that we have given on the portal somehow is a different folder from where I am uploading the solutions. So that link is different. So that is available on Discourse, though I have already uploaded
No,
that.
no, you can give me those files. No, I'll give it to Upstream, because
Yeah.
that is where they will
Oh,
maintain.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll share the files with you as well. But
Otherwise,
the
you have to always post it on the Discourse. No, it will
makes
be
sense.
difficult.
Makes sense. No, the link remains same. However, maybe the students are finding difficulty in accessing that. So okay. Nonetheless, I'll just
Yeah,
share the
you
link.
send me those things
Hmm.
in a chat or something. I'll
Yeah,
send them. They'll
I'll
do
share
it
that
by
again so that it
tomorrow.
is consistent in both places.
Ha ha.
And yeah, and the rest of I think